Ever wondered which countries have the best special forces? Watch this video to find out.
You may not hear about the Dutch Corps Commando Troepen, but that's by design. These frogmen and commandos are Europe's hidden giants, known for stealth and surgical precision. They're the Netherlands' top-tier special operations unit, involved in direct action, counterterrorism, and special reconnaissance. In Afghanistan, they operated in Task Force 55 alongside US and British forces, capturing and eliminating high-value Taliban and Al-Qaeda operatives. What makes them unique is their amphibious capability, like mini Navy SEALs, with elite diving, halo jumping, and mountain warfare skills. Their training is considered among the hardest in NATO, and their unofficial motto sums it up: now or never. When people say America's elite, they usually mean the Navy SEALs. From sea to air to land, hence the name, these warriors are trained to strike anytime, anywhere. Their most elite unit, SEAL Team 6, or DEV Group, was responsible for Operation Neptune Spear, the mission that took down Osama bin Laden in 2011. This wasn't luck. It was the result of decades of training and missions around the globe. SEAL's insane selection process is a nightmare very few get through. They have to pass through BUDS, including the infamous Hell Week where sleep is a luxury and quitting is a constant temptation. Only the toughest survive, and those who do become legends. Next, we have the Spetsnaz GRU, are Russia's most feared and secretive special operators. Brutally trained and fiercely loyal, they're known for their endurance, aggression, and lethal hand-to-hand combat. These elite commandos operate in the shadows, deployed in Chechnya, Syria, Ukraine, and countless covert missions. In 2002, they stormed a Moscow theater using knockout gas to end a hostage crisis. Over 100 civilians died, but the operation showed just how far Russian special forces will go. Answering to the GRU, Russia's military intelligence agency, they specialize in sabotage, deep recon, and surgical strikes behind enemy lines. Their motto: any mission, any terrain, any enemy, and they mean it. If you're still watching, like and subscribe to not miss out on any top-tier content. The British Special Air Service, or SAS, is more than just an elite force. It's a living legend. Originally formed during World War II for daring raids deep behind enemy lines, the SAS has evolved into one of the most respected and feared special operations units in history. Their famous motto, "Who dares wins," isn't just words, it's a way of life. Today, the SAS specializes in counterterrorism, covert reconnaissance, and direct action missions in the world's most hostile environments. The 1980 Iranian embassy siege in London catapulted them to global fame. In under 17 minutes, SAS operatives stormed the building, eliminated all but one of the terrorists, and rescued the hostages with surgical precision. Broadcast live to millions. Their training regime is notoriously brutal, designed to break all but the toughest. Candidates must pass psychological tests, resistance to interrogation training, and grueling selection exercises in the mountains of Wales. Those who make it earn a place in an elite brotherhood that values silence, precision, and courage above all. The SAS has inspired the formation of countless special units worldwide, including Delta Force. Their legacy, untouchable. Their impact, global. When the SAS moves, the world watches. Who could possibly be more badass than these elite units? Keep watching to find out. Most soldiers fear the cold. These warriors, they were born in it. When the temperature drops below -40 degrees Celsius, when metal sticks to skin, and your breath freezes in midair, that's when they get started. These are the elite operators who don't just survive in the Arctic. They hunt in it. They move silently through blizzards, strike without warning, and disappear into the snow like ghosts. Today, we're counting down the deadliest Arctic special forces in the world, the ones who fight where no one else dares. If Arctic warfare had a final boss, it would probably be Finnish. The Ute Jaeger Regiment is Finland's elite special ops unit, with roots in guerrilla warfare against the Soviets during the Winter War. Their specialty: silent, mobile, long-range recon and sabotage in snow-covered forests where GPS stops working, and so does hope. These guys are legendary for moving on skis, snowshoes, or snowmobiles, avoiding detection for days at a time. Their cold training is brutal. Minus 30 degrees Celsius endurance drills, no fires, minimal rations. It's like Survivor, except everyone's armed and invisible. Finland might be neutral, but Uti Jaegers are lethally precise. Most people go to Alaska for the scenery. SEALs go there to suffer. The cold weather detachment, Kodiak, is where Navy SEALs learn to fight in freezing rain, deep snow, and glacier-covered hellscapes. Recruits train in Arctic mobility, snow camouflage, avalanche navigation, and ice-cold water insertions. They specialize in moving in the hellish landscape with helicopters and rapid deployment. They practice subsurface dives under ice, using breathing tubes to surface, if they don't freeze first. SEALs in Kodiak are prepped to infiltrate enemy zones by foot, ski, or helicopter drop, then strike hard and vanish. These aren't beach SEALs. These are blizzard SEALs. In the frozen north, where even polar bears second-guess themselves, two nations stand unmatched: Norway and Canada. Norway's FSK and MJK are cold-weather commandos, trained to strike from sea, snow, or sky. They ski into missions, dive beneath ice, and vanish into blizzards like ghosts. Their survival drills, done in Svalbard, home to more polar bears than people. On the other side, Canada's JTF-2 teams up with the legendary Arctic Rangers, indigenous guided patrols who master the tundra without GPS or backup. JTF-2 operators can vanish into the snow for days, operating in minus 50 degrees Celsius with zero resupply and zero mercy. Norway brings surgical Arctic precision. Canada answers with unmatched endurance. In close quarters combat, every second counts. A wrong step means death. These are the special forces units that dominate when the fight moves indoors, where rooms turn into kill zones and your enemy is only a breath away. Formed after the 1972 Munich massacre, GIGN became France's surgical scalpel for counterterrorism. Their focus isn't just killing threats, it's controlling chaos. Operators are trained to shoot with surgical precision, often disabling a target rather than killing, especially in hostage situations where every bullet carries risk. One of their defining moments came in 1994 during the hijacking of Air France Flight 8969. Four heavily armed terrorists planned to crash the plane into the Eiffel Tower. When negotiations stalled, GIGN stormed the Airbus, killing all four hijackers and rescuing 172 passengers, all in just 90 seconds. Their CQB regimen includes live-fire room clears, aircraft cabin assaults, and rehearsals inside full-scale mock-ups of targets. They also train in psychological pressure, making split-second shoot-don't-shoot calls under simulated screams, explosions, and gunfire. SEAL Team 6, officially DevGru, are America's most feared indoor fighters. They train in shoot houses with constantly changing floor plans, so every entry feels unpredictable, forcing them to adapt instantly. Their defining CQB moment came in 2011 during Operation Neptune Spear. In the dark of night, they infiltrated Osama bin Laden's compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. In under 40 minutes, they had cleared multiple floors, neutralized threats, and completed the mission without losing a single operator. Their CQB philosophy is fluid dominance. If a doorway is blocked, they switch to windows. If a room is booby-trapped, they adjust routes on the fly. This ability to improvise mid-fight is what makes them so lethal in tight spaces. Spetsnaz aren't a single unit, but a collection of elite Russian special forces, all sharing one thing: an aggressive, almost brutal CQB style. They focus on speed and intimidation, often overwhelming enemies psychologically before firing a shot. In the 2002 Moscow theater siege, they demonstrated a controversial tactic: pumping a knockout gas into the building before storming it. While the operation ended the terrorist threat, it also resulted in hostage casualties, a stark example of their willingness to take risks for mission success. Their training includes live-fire stairwell assaults, fighting in pitch-black basements, and dynamic entries using explosive breaching in extremely confined spaces. Spetsnaz are trained to assume the enemy is always ready, so they hit harder and faster than expected. The British Special Air Service is the gold standard for close quarters battle worldwide. Their motto, "Who dares wins," is more than words. It's their battle philosophy. Their most famous CQB showcase was the Iranian embassy siege in 1980. For 6 days, terrorists held 26 hostages in London. On live television, the SAS smashed through windows, blew doors off hinges, and ended the siege in just 17 minutes. Their speed, precision, and violence of action became a blueprint for special forces around the globe. SAS CQB training takes place in kill houses, full-scale mock-ups where operators use live ammunition to ingrain perfect target discrimination. They drill simultaneous entries, synchronized grenade throws, and instant threat elimination. So an assault ends before the enemy has time to think. If you're still here, you've just survived a crash course in close-quarters combat from the deadliest units on Earth. That means you've got the endurance of a special forces operator, at least when it comes to watching YouTube. Hit that like button if you learned something new, and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into the shadow world of special operations. And drop a comment. Tell me which of these CQB units you'd want covering your 6 in a fight. Delta Force lurks in the classified shadows where ambiguity is both armor and weapon. Officially known as 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta, 1st SFODD, this unit answers directly to the highest echelons of U.S. command. Its mission is surgical in nature, striking high-value targets, rescuing hostages under extreme duress, and gathering intelligence that conventional forces simply can't obtain. Their work centers on 3 mission sets. First, direct action. Rapid strike raids on enemy compounds, terror cells, and weapons caches. Recall the Hawija operation in 2015, when a compact Delta team slipped into an ISIS-controlled village at dawn, neutralized dozens of combatants, and exfiltrated 70 civilians, all before sunrise. Second, hostage rescue. No margin for error entries to free captives under imminent threat. Third, covert reconnaissance, blending into hostile landscapes to track enemy leadership, map explosive emplacements, and secure intel that can't be gleaned from satellites or informants. Becoming a Delta operator begins in the crucible of Phase 1 selection. Volunteers, often Ranger, SEAL, or Marine Special Operators, endure blackout land navigation through rugged hills, brutal distance marches with full combat loads, and water confidence drills that test breath control under crushing pressure. Only the top 30% survive this 3-week ordeal. Those who pass move on to the Operator Training Course, OTC. Here, candidates refine advanced marksmanship with suppressed carbines, master dynamic room clearing in the steel maze shoot house, and calibrate explosive breaching charges to open doors with surgical precision. Training days blur into nights as muscle memory takes over. Operators move, shoot, and communicate without a single conscious thought. Beyond OTC, Delta operators rotate through specialized modules. They attend SEER school to learn survival deep behind enemy lines, then immerse in language programs, Arabic, Pashto, Dari, so they can pass undetected in local villages. Joint exercises with allied counter-terror units integrate fast rope helicopter insertions, drone-guided fire support, and synchronized airstrikes. Training at Delta never truly ends. Every mission feeds back into refreshed drills, debrief lessons from Mosul reshaped room clearing techniques, and insights from mountain operations refined cold weather survival protocols. Their gear evolves in parallel: modular plate carriers, reflex sight-equipped carbines, smart optics that overlay ballistic solutions in real time, and encrypted comms that ghost instantly after transmission. When a crisis demands zero margin for error, Delta Force is the answer. These operators aren't merely soldiers, they're living instruments of precision. They step into silence so the world can stay loud. The grind begins before sunrise on a windswept beach. Recruits drag 30-foot logs across slick sand until skin peels, then plunge into frigid surf to practice underwater knot tying by compass bearing alone. They emerge gasping to crawl through submerged culverts on a single breath. By noon, they sling-load 60-pound rucks over distant dunes, honing strength and navigation under load. At dusk, the fighter swim drills begin. Wearing full combat kit and swim fins, they surface dive through 10-foot swells, searching for submerged targets with only the phosphor green of their night vision goggles as a guide. When bodies learn to ache without fail, the mental games begin. Instructors fire live rounds overhead while candidates solve split-second hostage identification puzzles beneath strobe lights. Failure means exhaustion, straitjacketed in stress positions, water rationed to drip-feed survival instincts. Sleep vanishes. Pain becomes the teacher. Endurance forges muscle memory until every reaction is instinct. Breach, clear, engage, exfil. After BUD-S comes SQT, and then the crucible of DevGru selection. Only SEAL veterans with perfect records dare apply. Weeks of advanced demolition classes teach microcharge placement on reinforced steel. Marksmanship drills shift from pop-up silhouettes to moving subsonic targets. Trained wolves sprung in woodland at 200 yards. Sniper school calibrates MK-13 rifles with suppressors for first-round hit certainty. Halo and Hey-Ho parachute jumps from 30,000 feet. Train them to infiltrate across borders undetected. Swimmer delivery vehicle teams perfect clandestine beach assaults. Their toolbox bristles with purpose-built kit. Lightweight HK-416s with integrated suppressors and laser attrim pods. Subsonic .300 black carbines for confined spaces. MP7 PDWs for close quarters. Fragmentation grenades outfitted with selectable delay fuses. And slash PEQ IR pointers synced to NVG monitored optics for silent target designation. MBITR radios with frequency hop encryption keep chatter untraceable. DADAR GPS units and inertial navigation backpacks replace compasses when the sky is overcast. On mission, they move like water, adaptable, seamless, unstoppable. A four-man assault team fast ropes onto a rooftop while the sniper pair assembles a 25-round MK-21 to cover corridors below. Laser-designated breach charges vaporize locks without echoing back. Flashbangs neutralize close defenses. Then the entry stack floods inside, rifles sweeping methodically from corner to corner. Every step follows a pre-planned munition footprint. Every heartbeat is shared through hand signals and eye contact. Outside direct action, DevGru splits into squadrons for reconnaissance, human intelligence collection, and foreign internal defense. They advise partner forces on maritime interdiction, boarding pirate skiffs at dawn, and disabling engines with bolt cutters. They train allied units in combat diving, then slip away before sunrise. They insert by stealth boat, cluster parachute, or buried under adapted narco-submersibles. When the impossible must be accomplished, they answer not because they seek glory, but because the world demands precision without signature. Their victories rarely make headlines, but ripple through strategy rooms and change the course of conflicts. And when the mission ends, they vanish beneath new waves, leaving only the echo of rotor blades and the certainty that somewhere, someone stood between chaos and order. Please like and subscribe for more awesome content, and thanks for watching this far.
What makes United States Special Forces so powerful? Let's find out in this video. They aren't defined by rank or insignia, but by consequence. America's special operators live and fight in shadows, selected through filters so intense that less than 10% of candidates ever earn their place. They're not just physically elite, they're adaptable, multilingual, mentally bulletproof. When global conflict brews, these forces are already moving. Whether advising a militia, tracking a courier, or dismantling terror cells, they operate in politically sensitive, often denied zones. No fanfare, no announcements. What makes them special is readiness without notice. These teams can deploy within hours, customize their gear based on terrain, weather, and local culture, and execute missions where escalation is a risk and resolution demands discretion. 5 core capabilities form the backbone of every elite unit: direct action, fast, violent, and surgical. Strike teams breach and clear with precision. Reconnaissance, silent movement inside hostile terrain to deliver intel no drone could. Counterterrorism, covert elimination of threats before they escalate. Hostage rescue, lightning-fast insertions to neutralize threats and extract hostages. Unconventional warfare, training local forces, building resistance, and guiding quiet revolutions.
Please like and subscribe.
When the sun sets and the world sleeps, that's when the most elite warriors on Earth step out of the shadows. Night raids are the ultimate test of stealth, precision, and speed. Operations where the enemy almost never sees the attack coming. Darkness becomes a weapon. Units like Delta Force, the Navy SEALs, and the SAS use it to move undetected, bypassing guards, avoiding cameras, and slipping through enemy defenses as if they were never there. The technology behind these missions turns pitch-black night into an advantage. Night vision goggles bathe the world in an eerie green glow, while thermal images reveal the faint heat signatures of people hidden behind walls or in total darkness. Infrared lasers, invisible to the naked eye, allow operators to silently point out targets without alerting anyone. Every movement is planned to the second, every signal given without a single word spoken. Insertion is silent and fast. Stealth helicopters drop them just outside the objective, and within seconds they're on the ground, moving low and quiet. Operators fast rope down or land and sweep forward, stacking at doors before breaching in perfect synchronization. Once inside, they clear rooms with fluid precision, relying on rehearsed muscle memory and trust in the man beside them. The target is subdued or eliminated before they even have time to react. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the secret world of night operations, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which Special Forces mission you want us to cover next. Your support keeps us bringing you more untold stories from the shadows. The 2011 raid on Osama bin Laden's compound might be the most famous example, but it's only one of hundreds. In Iraq and Afghanistan, night after night, teams have dismantled entire terrorist networks before sunrise, tracking high-value targets for weeks, then striking at the exact moment they least expect it. Some raids last less than 10 minutes, from first contact to extraction. Others unfold in sprawling compounds, with multiple breach points and simultaneous room clearings, each movement timed with military precision. What makes night raids so devastating isn't just the technology, it's the combination of surprise, coordination, and overwhelming speed. The enemy is often disoriented, blinded by sudden light and noise, unable to mount a defense before it's already over, and when the operators leave, they vanish the same way they arrived, quiet, invisible, and gone into the dark. For those on the receiving end, it feels like being hit by a ghost. For the teams who execute them, it's just another night at work, in a war most people will never see. There are missions so dangerous, so politically sensitive, but governments deny they ever happened. But years later, the truth leaks out. Today, we're uncovering Special Forces operations that stayed in the shadows until history forced them into the light. These are the missions that defined elite units and proved why they exist in the first place. End of poem. During the Cold War, the CIA and Green Berets worked side by side on stay-behind teams in Eastern Europe. Their task? Remain hidden behind enemy lines if the Soviet Union invaded, and wage guerrilla warfare from the shadows. They trained in sabotaging railways, disabling communications, and even hiding weapons caches in forests. For decades, this program was classified, with operatives sworn to secrecy for life. When documents finally surfaced in the 1990s, it stunned the public, proof that secret armies had been waiting in silence for decades. In 1991, as coalition forces pushed into Iraq, British SAS teams were sent deep behind enemy lines in Operation Desert Storm. One mission, known as Bravo 20, involved an 8-man patrol tasked with hunting Scud missile launchers. They were hundreds of kilometers from friendly forces. In freezing desert nights, the mission went wrong. Communications failed, enemy forces closed in, and only a few made it out alive. For years, details were suppressed, But when the story emerged, it became a legend of courage and survival. Most people know about the 1976 raid at Entebbe Airport, where Israeli commandos freed hostages from a hijacked Air France plane in Uganda. But what's less known is the intelligence work behind it. Recently declassified files reveal Mossad agents on the ground in Uganda, posing as businessmen, feeding live information to the incoming rescue team. Without that intelligence, the lightning-fast raid might have turned into a bloodbath. In recent years, some of the most secret special forces missions have blended physical raids with cyber warfare. One leaked case involved US Navy SEALs working with NSA hackers to infiltrate a hostile country's server farm. While SEALs physically extracted hard drives and devices, cyber teams used the breach to plant digital surveillance tools. The operation was never officially acknowledged, but fragments of its existence slipped out in cybersecurity reports years later. If you're enjoying these rare insights into the shadow world of special forces, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and tell us in the comments which mission you'd want us to cover next. Your support helps us keep on covering stories most people never get to hear. For every mission that comes to light, there are dozens still buried in classified archives. Operations that crossed borders without permission, raids that prevented wars before they started, or missions that left no official record at all. Special forces exist in that space between history and rumor, and sometimes 10.